can see that my thinking had really slowed down. And so as soon as I got into something where I really did need to think, I think, I started again. Only in the last year or so, I'd realised that the friendships that I'd made, and one particular friendship at college, where we were talking about things that were going on in our heads, what we were really feeling about things, sort of things you don't normally talk to other people about. We got very close, and we were having those sort of conversations. And I wonder now whether that prepared me to drop a lot of my thinking as well as letting go of the thing that I was clinging to. So yeah, that was my experience at the time. And I think I spent a lot of the rest of my life trying to sort of get it back or understand it, really understand what it was. I was brought up a Methodist, so I didn't have a lot of choice about that. And I loved the singing, and I was happy to go. I think as I got older, I found there were a lot of things that I wasn't comfortable with. I wasn't really comfortable saying the creed and things like that. So I drifted actually after that for quite a while, and I had a period where I wasn't going to anything, but I was always searching and reading lots of spiritual books and looking for answers, I suppose, and looking to explain that experience I'd had. And in a lot of the readings that I came across, Quakers would feature. And it was always in a really positive way around, the silence and connecting to spirit. And I sort of had in the back of my mind that, if I ever did go back to some sort of form of religion, it would probably be Quakerism. I'd actually been to a Quaker wedding when I was 7, so I knew about it. My cousin married a Quaker, and I remember us being given a little leaflet saying what happens in a Quaker wedding, what don't be frightened if people sit there and don't say anything, So I sort of, didn't really sort of join anything else until I came back to Chester, actually. And I think my husband, bless him, I obviously thought I'd been talking about this for too long and not doing anything about it. And I think it was a Quaker week, and they'd got lots of things on Radio 4 about it. And I'd been away working during the week, and when I came back, my husband said, "Sit down, I want you to listen to this." It wouldn't have been a podcast then, but it was a recording that they had of a program. And it was various people talking about Quakerism and what it meant to them. And they also mentioned that there was a Quaker crest on in London on Mondays. And I was working down in London at the time. And so after that, I think the next week I went to the Quaker crest and started listening to that. And I also, it was a way to get me into a meeting. I think I'd also actually started doing a meditation class that was in a Quaker meeting house, because I wanted to feel what it was like and see what it was like. After I'd been to the first Quaker crest, the next week I just went to Chester Meeting House when I was back at home. Steve came with me for the first week, held my hand, and then that was it. I was on my own. So he didn't come after that. So he was very supportive of whatever I did, but he didn't necessarily want to join me. So that's how I came to Quakerism.